Did you receive an SBA PPP loan? You're going to want to pay attention to this video. We have up-to-the-minute details regarding SBA's criminal investigation of businesses that applied for the PPP loan. A couple months ago, we issued a video confirming SBA has already begun reviewing the PPP loan files. We recently discovered from a credible source working with SBA that SBA and FBI are working together and the criminal investigations have begun. Here's some of the key points you're going to want to know. The criminal investigations have already identified numerous companies with suspicious business activity. SBA and FBI are reviewing all the loans, regardless of the dollar amount, and regardless of whether the company applied for an economic forgiveness of the loan. In other words, all loans are under review. If you receive a request from your bank for additional information regarding your SBA loan, you're going to have days to provide that response. And if you don't provide the response, your case will be transferred to FBI for further criminal investigation and then referred to the U.S. Attorney's Office for further prosecution. The criminal investigators are going to have access to all the information you provided to your bank regarding the PPP loan. And they're going to be combing through all your records to verify facts. And here's a couple of things that are important to keep note. They want to know whether your company was operating in 2019 and in 2020, and how long your company has truly been in business. In other words, was your company dormant during this time, or was it active and attempting to generate revenue? If your company was it closed because of COVID-19 or before COVID-19? Remember, the purpose of the PPP loan was to keep companies open and employees employed, and this can be verified very easily. For instance, did your company maintain its business license? Did it file a sales tax return if it was required to, which would report gross revenue? Did it maintain its insurance, such as a general liability insurance and, most important, workers' compensation insurance? And whether that workers' compensation insurance policy identified the same employees or same number of employees that were reported to the SBA. So investigators are going to be looking at also whether your company rehired employees or whether it kept employees after receiving the PPP funds. Also, did your company file payroll tax returns and issue a W-2 to employees for 2019? And did it pay payroll taxes? If you have a PEO, really important, your employees are going to be reported under the PEO's EIN, so you're going to need to get your payroll reports from them and then confirm that the PPP funds were used to pay wages, which were then sent to the PEO. Also really important is if you have multiple companies, make sure that the company that applied for the PPP loan kept the funds in its bank account and it was not transferred to another company that you might own or to a third party. Look, it takes minutes for these investigators to verify some of this information, some very basic information. The number of employees that you had is identified already on your federal payroll tax return. It's on line 1, how many employees were employed, and it's by quarter. They'll compare 2019 to 2020. And so you're going to also want to confirm that the information that was reported to your workers' compensation insurance company is accurate, because the FBI can obtain that, as well as they can obtain all the information from your bank, such as your bank statements, your total deposits, which would indicate the level of revenue, and also all the canceled checks, which would show how the PPP funds were spent. If the investigators find fraud, they're going to refer the case to the FBI. And if you're contacted by the FBI, I recommend not communicating with them until you first contacted a qualified tax attorney. Your attorney is going to want to review your financials, your general ledger, your balance sheet, and your profit and loss statement, as well as your payroll returns and your general business activity. Also remember that any communication you have with your CPA is not protected. Only information shared with your attorney is protected under the attorney-client privilege. Remember that the CPA can be subpoenaed to appear before a grand jury, as well as summoned for any records that you provided, any communication you have with your CPA in the preparation of your tax returns, your financials, and most importantly, in the preparation of your PPP loan application. If you don't have a tax attorney, I recommend contacting Milikowski Tax Law. We have extensive experience with both civil and criminal tax matters, as well as government financial compliance. For more information on the latest updates for the SBA PPP loan, tune into our YouTube channel, and please leave a comment. I promise we'll either provide a response or we'll include your information in our future videos. I'm John Milikowski, founder of Milikowski Tax Law, and we keep businesses in business.